Anyway, in 1968, I'd been around a lot of great horsemen and a lot of great horsewomen. But in 1968, I married probably the greatest horseman I've ever known, and I think a lot of you in here will agree with that. And I learned Matlock Rose was a wonderful man, and we had a wonderful time for a long time. But we just rode and showed cutting horses, and I decided there had to be more to life than just showing cutting horses. And so we started a breeding farm, which you saw on the video, and the industry was changing fast at this point. In the early 80s, the industry was really changing fast. And I don't know where I got it, but I had the vision to see that we needed to change to keep up with the times if we were going to stay in business. And Matlock wasn't so quick at wanting to change. In fact, he didn't want to change at all, and he was happy the way it was, so we just kind of grew apart. But he was a wonderful man. He taught me a lot, and we had a great time. We managed to coexist as we were getting divorced for a year. I ran the breeding barn. I had a barn of horses that we were riding and showing. That's when we were promoting Zamparbar. And I had a wonderful staff, and we managed to coexist. Meanwhile, everybody was saying to me, "Carol, when are you going to California? When are you leaving? Where are you going to move?" And I just ignored them because I wasn't going anywhere. And Matlock knew I wasn't going anywhere. The only ones that were worried about it were the attorneys and a lot of his friends. So on June the 1st of 1984, Carol Rose Quarter Horses was born, and the only thing that changed, Matlock took half the horses and his staff. I kept my half and my staff. His sign went down, or our sign went down, and my sign went up. And people were just shocked. How can a woman do this? How can a woman think she can do a man's job? Well, for me, it's not a woman's job. I mean, it's not a man's world. It's our world. And you just have to have the vision and courage to go forward. But I can tell you, if a man is very ambitious in business, is aggressive, is confident in his opinions, sticks to his word in a business deal, he's a shrewd businessman. If a woman does the very same thing, she is a babe in total control of herself. That's me. And we all know what the acronym for that is. It's BITCH. Anyway, I rocked forward, and Carol Rose Quarter Horses became a reality. I had a wonderful staff, had wonderful people, and some of that's been good and bad over the years, but mainly, and people say, how can you work for a woman? And I still pay the paycheck, but the only difference is that I want perfection. I never had a goal of what I was going to do. I just knew I was wanted to be the best. And to be the best, you have to have vision, you have to have courage, and you have to have a little intestinal fortitude. One time a girl came in my office, and she made me think. She said, "Mrs. Rose, how did you know what you wanted to be when you grew up?" And I looked at her and I said, "That's a good question. I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up." When you're in business for yourself, in business as a woman, the only thing that's probably the only problem is that you have to take all the blame when something's wrong. You can't blame it on, my husband did that, or I have to ask my husband, or I don't know why my husband did that. I mean, I am the boss. I'm the sole proprietor there, and I'm a single woman in a world that I love. People ask me, "Mrs. Rose, what keeps you going?" And I can promise you, without a shadow of a doubt, what keeps me going is watching that foal take his first breath and then go on to become a champion. It's incredible. I don't actually foal the mares anymore unless I happen to be there when one's being born, because I have wonderful people that do that do it the way I want it done. But I have a philosophy that I go by and stick by, and some of you were at the Breeders' Forum the other day, heard me say this. What keeps me going is my philosophy of the horse. The horse has got, the first thing for me is his conformation, and which means form to function. I want him to be sound, I want him to be gorgeous, and I want him to be something that I like, you're going to like. The next thing, he's got to have a mind. And the next is the athletic ability, because if he has a mind and he can't do anything about it, that's bad. And if he has a mind and he's a great if he's a great athlete and doesn't have a very good mind, that's bad. So I want the mind first, the athletic ability second, and the pedigree is third. And the reason I say the pedigree is third, because except for Zam Parbar, I have raised all my stallions. And so I know the pedigree, and I kind of already know what they cross on and what they don't. And I usually give it a 3-year try, and if I don't like the resulting foal, I automatically change it. But those 4 items for me, that's my philosophy, and that's what I strive for every single day of my life. And I'm very, very, very serious about it. And I think a lot about the mind of a horse, and I look at the horse, and I just amazed how fast some of them can learn. And they watch with their ears and they watch with their eyes, and I watch the people that work for me train these horses, and it's just incredible to see that they're doing what we're breeding them to do. I have a wonderful friend that's here with me tonight from Thermopolis, Wyoming. His name is Bill Smith. Bill is at our table. Bill is a three-time world champion saddle bronc rider, but the most amazing thing he is a wonderful, wonderful horseman. I attribute Bill's abilities to Matlock's abilities. Bill is half horse and the other half too. He can teach a horse. He knows when to teach him, and he knows when to reward him. And to me, those things are so, so important. Not too long ago, Bill was at my house, and we were having coffee at 5 o'clock in the morning, and we were talking about a horse's mind, and I said, Bill, I think I can tell what that horse is thinking. He said, Carol, you can't, because you don't have a horse's mind, so you don't know what that horse is thinking. He said the best thing we do is develop that horse, teach him to trust us, take care of him, and he'll take care of us, but you don't know what he's thinking because he's a prey animal, and we're predators, and all we can do is teach that horse to trust him. You think about that. And Bill Smith is here, and he's just the most incredible teacher, and he teaches my young people how to start colts each year, and I have the utmost respect for him. Another thing that I guess I need to share with you is I don't know how I haven't, but I've never gotten barn blind. And I think that's what's kept me all these years as one of your leading breeders. When I raise a horse, if I don't like that horse, I say, you got to go. It's just, there's no way about it, because if I don't like him, you're not going to like him, and he's probably not going to win very much. And I think people ask what keeps me going. I think that's one of my successes, is just don't become barn blind. Now, lastly, I have an outstanding staff at my ranch. Everything we do is team effort. There's no I in the word team, and everything team means together, everyone accomplishes more. And tonight, there are 5 people that I have to introduce you to. My leading horse trainer, Jay McLaughlin, and his wife, Wendy. An assistant horse trainer that Jay, you better look out, baby, is Jeremy Knowles and his wife, Jennifer. And 2 women that are extremely important in my business, that keep me going and keep me going in the right direction, Nikki Miller and Elise Blake. It's hard for me to believe that I am really standing here tonight being inducted into this great Hall of Fame. It's amazing how doing what you've done for a lifetime, how your association with a horse, and it's just a natural way of living for me, can make you so honored. But when I first met Matlock Rose, and I was around Dr. Graham, Bubba Cassio, Jerry Nicodemus, had some relationships with D. Wayne Lucas, and many more of you tonight, I thought, gosh, these guys are old. And and I'm thinking, Hall of Fame, does that mean you're on your last leg? So tonight, many of them are there, and I'm joining them, and definitely I'm not on my last leg, and I don't feel old, but let me share something with you. People say, Mrs. Rose, how old are you? And I always say, age is a number, and mine is unlisted. Thank you.
One more round of applause for Carol Rose.